Here we have another product for review. This came from BangGood.com. There will be a link in the video description as always. This is the Ultrafire zoomable LED flashlight. So it's a kind of military style, heavy, machined aluminium flashlight with a lens on the end there, and I believe that has a Cree LED chip in there. So let's have a look and see what else we got in the bag. Got 2 batteries, a UK mains adapter, a charger with a kind of flip out prongs. Not exactly sure how that comes out. Anyway, so there's a charger there. Now let's have a look at these batteries. Right, so these are 3,800 milliamp hours, 3.7 volts lithium ion batteries. They're a bit bigger than AA's, so these are special batteries, lithium batteries that look like they're just for this. Let's have a look at the flashlight itself. So let's take apart the bits we can take apart. So there's a battery holder there. It looks like, well, isn't that interesting? That looks to me like it's designed to take 3 AA's. Alternatively, it looks like we'll get one of those in there. So it looks like I might have choices about the kind of batteries I put in there. What else comes apart here? That's the zoom, I guess, which looks interesting. And then, okay, the end bit comes off as well. I presume the lens is going to drop out there. Okay, yeah, so we could actually have a look at the LED chip in there, but I don't think that's actually meant to do that in normal operation. The lens feels like it's made of acrylic or some sort of hard plastic. I'll put that back together. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll test that in the dark tonight. Okay, just one other thing. I went to charge the batteries. The little prongs pop out of the charger like that, and then that goes into the UK adapter. But I went to charge these batteries, and I noticed that when I put them in, that lights up. So of course they're lithium ion batteries, so they're delivered probably with a bit of charge in them. There's also this plastic sleeve, which I thought was quite clever, and that's designed to stop that battery rattling around inside the torch. So they've obviously put some thought into the design for this. So let's have a little look. This is obviously a battery with the amount of charge that it had when it was delivered, and that seems like quite a bright light to me. Obviously this is daylight, so I can't really judge that very well, but there's the zoom function. That looks quite good, doesn't it? It's interesting. I'm looking at it on the wall and it zooms down to a square. You can actually see the kind of structure of the LED chip. What we'll do, I think, is we'll charge those batteries properly, and then we'll take it out in the dark and give it a proper test. Okay, so I'm in my garden and it's dark outside now, completely dark. We're just going to have a look at what this flashlight can do. So to start off with, it has several different modes. There's a very bright mode, medium brightness mode, and a less bright mode, which presumably extends the battery life. And then there's a rapid strobe mode, which is actually quite disturbing to look at, but I guess could be useful in some contexts. And then there's a mode where it flashes out SOS in Morse code, which I suppose is not a bad idea actually. If you were going to incorporate this flashlight into a survival kit, that would be quite useful. So let's have a look at the zoom function anyway. So that is on full brightness, and you can zoom down to a very bright spot or any size in between. When it's on the bright spot, you can actually see it makes a rectangular image, and that's an actual image of the LED chip that's inside. Anyway, let's have a look at the range of this thing then. I'm going to look up and across the field there, and it's about 100 yards probably, and there's a really good illumination of an area there when I've got the torch on full spread, and when I put it on spot, you really can see whatever you're illuminating across the field. That's really good, really bright. I need to be a little bit careful because I don't want to disturb the neighbours, but essentially, yes, you can have an extremely bright spot which will project a very long way, or you can set it at the appropriate spread to illuminate the area in front of you, or just provide a sort of spread even illumination. This might actually give you an idea of how bright it really is. You can see there it's actually shining right through the palm of my hand. The only thing I think is just ever so slightly annoying about this is obviously I've got that on full brightness mode now, and I turn it off, and the next thing it will do is always the next mode, so that's on medium brightness now, and the next time I turn it off and on I've got the lowest brightness setting, and then after that I get the flashing mode. So there isn't any way, as far as I can tell, to override it and just choose a mode except going through all the modes each time, which is a little bit annoying because, to be honest, I don't think I'd use all those other modes very often. I'm just going to use the bright one, so it's a bit annoying that it doesn't just go straight onto that each time. But apart from that, it's a really rugged little flashlight, really solid build. It feels good in the hand, and as I say, extremely bright, extremely capable of illuminating across a long distance, and the zoom function's quite good as well. Okay, so only one thing remains, which is to see what the battery life is like. I've got a fully charged battery in here. I'm going to switch it on the brightest setting, and we'll see how long it runs for. So I've got a clock in the background there, we'll see what happens. I'll switch it on, and I'll give it to this guy to hold. There we go. Okay, so that's been about half an hour, and the output of the flashlight now is actually diminished to, it's still a usable light, but it's noticeably dimmed, so it's down to about probably a quarter of its normal output. I think that would be the point where you'd start to wonder whether to replace the battery. So half an hour on full beam from the rechargeable battery. I'm not going to test it with all the others. I imagine probably using it on the low brightness would extend it maybe 3 times that, so you'd get an hour and a half or something. So there we go, the Ultrafire XML T6 flashlight from BangGood.com. Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more of the same, why not click here to subscribe? Alternatively, click here to visit my channel. Or you could click here to visit the Atomic Shrimp website.